of tomorrow, I think this role is going to be the best for me and for our wider community as well.
So, what training did you do to prepare?
Yeah, so the training I did to prepare. So through the police force, we've got a whole training program. So it's not school, yet it's like school at the same time. We have a certain training spec. So the training consists of so many things. But the whole point of the training is that it doesn't just teach us and train us to become a good police officer. It trains us to become a good person in life as well. So what the training consists of is that we do team building exercises. So it's a group, it's not just me, it's a whole group of cadets all my age. We do team building exercises, and then that leads us into our duties, which I'll explain a bit later. I think, but in the training side of things, and plus it also teaches about the force and what the term policing really means. Because for an outsider, if you go up to someone on the street and say, what do you think the word policing means? They'd probably think neighborhood policing, people with uniform on, but it's not just that. So that's the training we get trained to do, really.
Like I remember like when I went to like Spinning Hill Park, and they have like those like when they have those like fun fairs and then the police officers come and have the car. I was like 5 years old when I sat in one, and then they put the helmet on and they got the small like the motorbike. So that was like a very like life-changing moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a very exciting moment for me.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite part of the police force?
I think my favourite part, that's a good question actually. I'd say community, the community aspect of things. And actually something I was going to mention earlier, I forgot to mention now, is that one of the reasons I joined in the first place is that I was brought up in a family where I was brought up in a very large family. I got a very large family, but in saying a large family, we're very tight knit. So we're very close with each other. So I was always being brought up. So I was always taught that community is something that people should do, something people should involve with. And thing is, growing up, I had the misconception that community was religious. And I'll be honest with you, it was ever since I joined Judge Meadow, and obviously Mr. Chowdhury always talks about it, and of course it's in our name, Judge Meadow Community College. And hearing that the word community, especially like I said, after joining Judge Meadow, year 7, year 8, it came to my understanding that community is about everyone and to involve everyone as well.
And I guess at Judge Meadow, we don't our tagline and our special line that everyone says that Lamisa, our other co-host, actually made for us is, we aren't just a school, we are a community.
Yeah.
And I think that it just shows that everything that our school is about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree with you, Zainab, and you, Dhruv. Unfortunately, Lamisa isn't here with us today, or she would be saying that line.
Yeah.
So what are your duties in the police force currently?
So currently my duties consist of quite a few things at the minute. Duties consist of kind of litter picks, and actually coming back to your episode last week is that Zainab, you said you did a lot of litter picking as well. So one of the duties we actually do is litter picking, community litter picking. And in that litter picking, we're going out and helping the wider community. So we've got litter picking, crime leaflet prevention delivery. So Leicestershire Police, every couple of months, we release this leaflet or a poster of crime prevention. So different hotspots of Leicester and Leicestershire. So I'm the East Leicester cadet. So I'm not so much outside Leicestershire. I'm in the heart of Leicester Moor City. So it's all the different hotspots of the community and the hotspots of where different crimes are. So we always talk about, and we knock on the doors and talk to people, goes, hi, we're from Leicestershire Police, we are all junior cadets, this is what we do. So we go out and we show the community that the police are there, the police presence is there. And another thing is that it really warms my heart seeing, especially the older generation, like them coming up to us on the streets and going, it's so good to see our youngsters, our voices of tomorrow again, in uniform and actually helping the wider community, not leaving that for our parents, for example. We're actually doing something to help our own generation.
Would you say you have any funny stories whilst you're in your duties?
Funny stories. That's good. You put me on the spot there, you know. Funny stories. No, not really, because actually, bring this point up, again, we're in uniform and we represent Leicestershire Police. So we've got to act as professional as we can, and we've got to act with the utmost respect as well. So we've got to respect the uniform we wear. So we don't wear the uniform you'd see on a warranted police officer, for example, but we do wear, all our uniform we wear is all got the logo and the emblem on it. So we're walking around the city of Leicester, the streets of Leicester, with the Leicestershire Police emblem on it. So it shows people that we're from Leicestershire Police, and that, again, we've got to respect our uniform. So I wouldn't really say funny stories, more serious stories, but yeah.
Yeah, and I respect that, Dhruv, because like I know like even the fire service and the ambulance service, they all have to be like very disciplined, because like if they were to act a bit lenient in front of like an old, like the older generation, they would think like they would think like bad about, or like negative about someone, because like they're not acting like more disciplined. So it's better to act more disciplined, so you can like, so, and you're focused as well in your job. So why did you choose the police force? That's one question I came up with.
Oh, okay. Why did I choose the police force? I don't really. You know what? I think, again, it comes back to the aspect of community again. But it's me. I've always had that self satisfaction of, when you've just helped someone. I know we're still at school. So say, for example, one of your friends asked you, I'm really struggling on this maths question. Do you mind coming to help me? And I don't know, but every time you've helped someone, you have that kind of, you have that self-satisfaction. Goes, you know what? I've actually done something. I've helped someone. And seeing the smile on their face, and I got a funny story for you. At school, one of my best friends came up to me, and she goes, Dhruv, you know what? I'm really struggling on this maths question. And I know you're set one, blah, blah, blah. And I goes, okay, right, I'll give you a hand. What's the question? So I helped the question, and honestly, her smile when she understood the topic, I was like, you know what? I'm so glad I've actually helped someone. But again, coming back to the policing side of things, it was actually someone was struggling with their dog. They lost their dog at the park. It was out on duty. We were on a patrol at the park area. So there was an elderly lady. She was looking quite distressed. So me and my partner, we went up to her, and he goes, excuse me, miss, you okay? You seem quite distressed. And she goes, hello, officer, you okay? She goes, yeah, not too bad. And so I think I've seemed to have lost my dog. I didn't have him on the lead, but I don't know where he is. So gone and helped find him, to find the dog, and then thank God we found it. Gave it back to her. She was ever so thankful. And I think for us youngsters to be helping the older generation, I know we'll talk about that later on as well, but I think that, again, that's something that gave me deep satisfaction, because you know what? I'm so glad I've helped someone.
And that actually links back to our topic about volunteering, because that is like a fact of volunteering. Yeah. Even when you help your classmates in that math question, that is a form of volunteering, because you're helping someone else. And actually, I've got a hadith for that. So, wait just a second. So, our beloved Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Khayrun nasi may yanfa'un nas." The best person is the one who benefits the people. Now, this hadith, like when I explain this hadith, it talks about how the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that the best person is the one who benefits the other people. Now, you talked about community, and now you are technically like going up to the standards of what the Prophet ﷺ has said. I know you're Sikh, but religions, we're all united, because we are all a community. Mm-hmm. So,
we all share the belief that we want to help other people.
100%.
100%. So you're working in the police force, and that actually is a volunteering, and that is like making you the best person, because you are helping others. Like you helped that lady who lost her dog. Mm-hmm. All right. So going back to the questions. Mm-hmm. Different ranks in the police force. Ooh, what are the different ranks?
Quite an informative question, actually. So, yeah, I've got quite a bit of information, and honestly, a question like that I can talk about for days. So, the police force is got different ranks, but the word police, right? Before I answer your question, the word police, it's so wide. So when you join the police, right, you don't always have to be a police officer. There's so many different ranks and so many different jobs you can get in the police that you can have, say for example, you're an IT student and you're not the most confident person, not the most articulate person, and you think, oh, a police officer's not for me, but you're an IT student and you love your IT. There's IT jobs within the police, because think about it, technology rising in our generation now. There's people that you can go in the IT line and work for the police. So, right, so answer your question, the different ranks of the police. So you join the police as a uniformed officer and you have your probation time. So it's a 3-year probation to get your feet as a police officer. And you start off in uniform and you start off as a uniformed officer, a neighborhood police officer. So you start off at a constable level. So you're a police constable or detective constable. Depends. If you work in uniform, you're a police constable. You work in CID or a detective role, you're a detective constable. And then, so as ranks go up, you become more authoritative and you look after a larger team. So you have to sit an exam for each promotion you do. So after you become a constable, so say for example you've been in the job, so you've done your 3 years probation and you spend 2 more years as a police constable or a PC. You go, you know what, I think it's time to take the sergeant's exam. Sit the sergeant's exam, and that's when you become a sergeant or detective sergeant. So a sergeant is your first role as a leader of a team. So as a sergeant, you're not majorly in charge, but you're in charge of a team of police constables. So say for example, hypothetically, I'm a sergeant, and that's my first dream role, by the way, when I get older, when I work for the police. So say for example, you two are PCs, so you'll be working under me. So every morning I'll give you a morning brief. I was like, right, okay, you'll be, I don't know, beat number 12. So you'll be Evington area. Abdul Rahman, I'll give you the job, you'll be Humberston area. So you'll be patrolling there, or you'll be a response officer. So that's a sergeant's role. And then after sergeant is the inspector. And the inspector, that's the first major kind of lead. So you're in charge of a couple of sergeants and all the police officers within the sergeants. So whatever happens to your PC, it'll go to your sergeant, and the sergeant will pass it on to your inspector. And usually, a larger police station, you'll have a chief inspector as well. And then after chief inspector, that's pretty much a boss of the inspector. And then it goes from inspector to chief inspector, then it goes to superintendent. The superintendent and chief superintendent, and it sounds really complicated, but I'll try to simplify as much as I can. So superintendent and chief superintendent, that's your first role in charge of a major police station. So you're in charge of the entire police station. And then after superintendent, chief superintendent, and then you get to deputy chief constable, assistant chief constable, and then chief constable. So, and that's, you know, when people ask you, what's the dream? In the future, what's the dream? And I've never said, I want to be rich, I want to have 30 supercars, I want to be Superman. I've never said something like that. I've always said, my dream is to become the first chief constable of Leicestershire Police of South Asian origin. Because especially the city of Leicester, we're so diverse. So many religions, so many races, so many ethnicities, and it's only getting bigger. Leicester's only getting bigger and more diverse as years go on. So Leicestershire Police haven't had a chief constable of colour as of yet. So I hope I'm the first one. I really, really do hope. And I hope God helps me and guides my path on the way. But I really hope that I do become the first chief constable of colour. But I think at the same time, the job has so much. And yeah, those are pretty much the ranks. And actually, stepping away from the ranks as of such, in terms of policing, there's 4 main branches of policing as well. So you have community policing, investigation policing, intelligence policing, and operational support policing. So like I said earlier, there's so many branches of policing you can go into. So technically speaking, depending on your characters, you could be so many different. You don't necessarily have to be a police officer. Like I could be the police officer, you could be the finance manager, you can be the business manager. It just depends on what kind of role you want to go for.
That's quite something.
Quite information heavy, I know.
Yeah. So actually, losing my words. About community.
Mm-hmm.
Now. So.
It's all right.
It's fine. So next question. What else do you do except for the police force? Now, I probably expect that you do revision.
If there's any teachers from school watching, I definitely do revise. I know Mr. Chowdhury's here. Sir, I do definitely revise maths. That's one subject I definitely revise. But yeah, stepping away from school. What else do I do? That's a good question. So there's a couple of things I've done. So at the minute, currently I'm, I wouldn't say working, but I'm volunteering with charities such as Cancer Research UK. And I'm volunteering with Macmillan Cancer Support and Laura's Hospice. And the reasons them three charities have such a important value in my life is that, unfortunately, I lost my auntie and great-grandfather to cancer in 2015 and 16. And I raised, I think, something close to £3,750 for cancer research. I did a walk in March 2021. Was that last year? No, it was the year before. Time flies, yeah. So 2021, I did a charity walk. The entire March, I walked 10,000 steps a day. And I was quite pleased. I've raised the money, got loads of support from friends, family, teachers at school. And you know what? It did a lot for my mental health as well. I lost a lot of weight then as well. So I was quite happy about that.
During COVID as well?
Yeah, during COVID as well. And that's some of the things I do. And May 2022, I... not to toot my own horn or anything, but I received an award. Received an award from the Lord Lieutenant of Leicestershire for my volunteer work in the community. Also, in my local community, I'm a youth ambassador of Shri UK RK Seva Samaj. So, in that community, my role is people look up to me as kind of like youth. I'm the only one under the age of 18 there. And actually, we raise money, we do religious festivals, we help different charities. We're continuously working with other communities. And also, I'm quite sporty as well. People that know me well, I know you guys know well, I'm really sporty and I'm very much into my cricket. So I'm currently the captain of Houghton and Thurmey Cricket Club's under-17s team. I was captain of the under-15s team 2 years running, but I'm not 15 anymore. I'll turn 16 on the first day of school, so don't beat me up too much on the first day of school. But yeah, so I'm captain of the under-17s now, and I think all these roles that I've done so far, it really has an impact on your character, and it character builds. And of course, not to forget and not to mention our involvement in school as well. Done quite a few things in school, and I think all three of us, Hiba and Lamisa including, we've done loads of things for school, media-wise, podcast-wise, for all these events that we did.
Culture Day.
Oh my God, we can't forget Culture Day. You know what? Let's leave Culture Day for another day of discussion, because I don't think we'll be able to stop talking. Go on.
To be honest, all of us, like the podcast team, we actually were volunteering for Culture Day.
Yes,
great point. Yeah.
So, like particularly, even like as you said, you're very sporty.
Yeah.
I actually played for the bocce team for Judge Meadow.
Okay.
So the last match was against Crown Hills, and we won that.
That's amazing.
That was in October or something.
Okay.
And straight back after school on Thursday, hopefully, if you get permission, we're gonna go to Loughborough University to play the Leicestershire.
That is crazy.
Tournament.
Nice.
So I just got a letter from one of the PE teachers, and I was like, no, try it out.
That's good.
So, and then I tried it out, and it was actually quite good. And now I'm part of the bocce team because like we won it, and now I'm going to finals and stuff. So it's quite big. It stretches out quite far. So I'm so wait, one point to me. I'm so sorry about your aunt. And
No, it's all right. Thank you.
And
it is kind of amazing how much you raised for them, and
yeah, I know.
I bet they're gonna be very proud of you.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, money aside, I think it was for me. I just wanted to do something, and I've always been like that. Always wanted to do something to help. So, and I'm plus, especially coming back to the school side of things, the things we do for school. I think it's never been right. You know what? You're doing this. It's never been from the teachers. It's always been us going to Mr. Chowdhury and going to other teachers and go, we want to do this. We want to do this. Look, Culture Day without Mr. Chowdhury and without us, Culture Day wouldn't have been anything. And honestly, I don't think our school realized how much effort Mr. Chowdhury and our podcast team put in. And we literally, there's that saying, blood, sweat, and tears, but we literally put in blood, sweat, and tears. I remember me, Zainab, and Lamisa. We had a bit of a scare that day. We thought Mr. Chowdhury played a huge prank on us, thinking one of our main things were gonna go.
Because our main thing about this culture day is going to be bigger and better. One of the main events that we had.
I don't think I'm going to forgive Mr. Chowdhury for that. I'm still
never.
not happy with him about that.
Honestly, he scared me so much.
So, what other volunteering opportunities are there? Like, what volunteering opportunities do you know that someone who is listening, someone who is part of the youth generation, can go and volunteer for?
Yeah, definitely. There's especially in the borough of Leicestershire as well. There's so many opportunities you can go for. So of course, like I mentioned, there's the police cadets, the VPC, volunteer police cadets. Then we've got sea cadets, air cadets. We've got St John ambulance cadets, and they're very first aid heavy. And of course, the police cadets, we do get first aid trained, and we're advanced first aid trained. But St John ambulance, that's their main forte. There's a Scout Association. Some of these I did a bit of research on, but I'm not, of course, I'm not part of the cadets. I'm not their cadets. I'm not really too sure. But again, there's the Air Training Corps. There's Army Cadets. Army Cadets sounds like good fun. And there's some other kind of charities you can help out and volunteer. Barnardo's, Blue Cross, British Heart Foundation, British Red Cross as well. Whatever they do, all the work they do is really great. So if there's any youth watching, definitely feel free to join and go online, give them a call. Yeah.
And me, myself, and I also think Dhruv, we both did Duke of Edinburgh Award through our school, and one of the sections of it is doing volunteering, and I did litter picking in Evington Park. So if you want to, you can go to Evington Park and you can go volunteer to the area.
Because I think they're putting up teams and for litter picking on the weekends. From what I've seen,
it's not just Evington Park; it's the whole of Leicester. Kind of around where our school is, where Judgment is. Did you do your police work for your
Yes, so with Duke of Edinburgh, I actually did Duke of Edinburgh through police cadets. So we got it cheaper, which was really good, and at the same time we could have kind of not cancelled out in a way, but technically speaking, cancel out our volunteering because we're already volunteering with the police cadets. So me carrying on with the police cadets, that's my volunteering done. And of course, we only had to do the physical skills and expedition.
And I think you love sports, so physical.
Physical got sorted. I did, for my physical, I did gym and cricket for physical. And for skill, a lot of people don't know this about me, actually. I'd like to throw out there. I'm very much into my cooking and baking. I don't know if I've told you this before. So did you do that for your skills? So I did that for my skill because... of course, I've always had that. I want to go to university, and I think most of us, want to go to university. Mom and dad ain't going to be there. University is when we show our independence. We meet new people, live with new people, right? And I think definitely you've got to learn the basic needs for university.
So basically, DOV, it was a really nice opportunity, right?
Oh, 100%,
I would definitely recommend for you to do it, Abdul Rahman.
You're year 7 of the Rahman. You got time, bro. Honestly, do it.
It's so much fun.
It sounds very exciting.
Yeah.
The expedition.
Oh, you know what? The expedition, trust me, it gives you experience and it gives you the best memories you could possibly think of. Honestly, it's so good. And of course, the late Duke of Edinburgh had brought it in. Zainab, do you know the year? No, I'm not too sure about the year he started it all, but definitely, honestly, Duke of Edinburgh, right? I'll tell you this fun thing about Duke of Edinburgh. Duke of Edinburgh, don't do it with the expectation of the expedition.
No,
do it.
That's not the main.
For me, we were told, do it for your love of volunteering and your love of doing things. The thing is, it gives you, so the things you do already, it gives you an excuse of getting a qualification and getting something really good out of it.
Yeah.
So say, for example, we do all this charity work, we do volunteering work, we play games, play sports, and I don't know, you learn how to play chess, you learn how to ride a bike, they're all skills. But it gives you an excuse to get something so possibly great out of it to do it through Duke of Edinburgh, because those little things that you do, it has an impact on
we know you do football, so you could do that for your physical.
Exactly.
And I have a funny story when I went for my expedition.
Go on, I'd love to hear this.
So me and my friend group, Yeah. So basically, it was a very long walk, very, very long walk. We went to Rutland, and it was such a long walk. And I'm not going to lie, it was tiring. It was very, very tiring.
Yeah.
And we kind of got lost twice. And imagine a group of students getting lost in a field, but it was so fun. It was so much fun. You would think that we were scared, but I'm not even joking. It was the most, and we meet lots of new people.
True, very, very true.
Because I did it through Judge Meadow, so you're in a campsite with all the different students from the trust. So like Beecham, Sir Jonathan North, like all the different schools in the trust, and it's so much fun. I know in our school we have Ian Coward, so that's the main person who runs it for the trust, right? And if you want to just come to him, I'm pretty sure he comes to Judge Meadow. Like, he's come to our school in the past, and if you want to do it, just go to him. And
so if there's anyone at Judge Meadow or anybody in our Lionheart Trust watching, then definitely drop Mr. Coward an email, or he'll be in school sometimes. Speak to Mr. Chowdhury if you're in school and ask him when he's in. Yeah, so I think Mr. Coward, he's the DV representative at school, and I think he's great. And Duke of Edinburgh, I think, remember, Duke of Edinburgh is something you don't only have to do from school. Like I said, I did mine from police cadets. And I think, like Zainab said, you get to meet so many new people. And keep in mind, they're going to be shy as well. So I know it's totally understandable to be shy at first, but remember, they're on the same boat as you. They're going to be a little bit shy. They're going to be reluctant to talk to new people. But as soon as you break that barrier, literally you're sailing on a boat. It's so smooth.
You're eating dinner with them that same night.
Literally,
Honestly,
I know.
It's so much fun. I really recommend it.
Pasta on the stove in the grass.
We kind of went a lot off topic, but you can still... I guess that links to our volunteering, because you do your volunteering inside of it.
Definitely.
You're helping your community, and, I guess it links back to our last episode as well, where it provides a sense of community, right? Unity.
Yeah, it does.
It does. It makes you feel all like you're one.
True, and I'll be looking forward to doing it. So, Zainab, I think you wanted to introduce this 3 types of volunteering.
Okay, so we know that we have Dhruv's type, so volunteering in public services. He's talked about the different types of doing that, but I also wanted to talk about charity and different charities that, so for example, Humanity Without Borders, that's just one example of a charity who are run off volunteers, so people volunteer to help there. And their core values are definitely, they're serving equality and supporting the community. And they actually provide deployments where you can go to around the world, and you can actually go and volunteer there and help the people there, which I think it's amazing. The other one is community. So we've kind of touched on it, litter picking in the community, but I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you guys have got any other examples of things that we can do to volunteer in the community.
To remind you of one?
No, but I would like to emphasize on charity, because actually I've volunteered for LIA Relief Trust, which is based like around Money Schools Federation. And I remember, like, if anybody's gone to Money for Tarawih, they probably seen, like, over the 3 years ago, they probably seen me with a bucket outside, like, and then you could hear that noise, like that, the money noise, and like I was so satisfied by that. That's the only reason I do it. And I was like, it was like the best bit, and it was like straight after Witr, I was just like, run, get the bucket, and I was like,
and you enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and that's the best thing about volunteering, because you need to enjoy it, and then if you enjoy it, then you get the passion to do more.
Yeah, you shouldn't be reluctant about doing it.
Actually, coming back to volunteering and charity, am I right in saying charity, zakat, is it one of the pillars of Islam?
Yes.
Yeah, so very similarly, in Sikhism, right? Volunteering and selfless service, it's something we as Sikhs really believe in. And we call it sewa. Sewa translates into selfless service. So selfless serving our God, serving God's creations as well. So I've got a small punkti from a line from the Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and it says, "Sewa karat ho nikammi, Disko hot barap swami. So that translates into one who performs selfless service without thought of reward shall attain his Lord and Master Vaheguru. So bringing religion into this, I think that's what brings us all together. So different religions, we may some of our beliefs may be different, but that's what unites us, because some of our beliefs are yet so similar as well. Mm-hmm. So we serve others to serve our Lord. Am I right in saying that? Yeah. So,
I guess so.
The concept for us for selfless service and charity is to really have an impact on others. So others that aren't as well off as maybe we are, and sometimes, especially our generation, we take it for granted.
We do.
And especially, that's something for me as well. I was brought up a Sikh, right? But my friend circle, majority of my friends are Muslim. And especially in this month of Ramadan, it makes me feel so bliss, right? It makes me feel so happy that all of my friends, they all do this, and they're so God-centered, and their mind is so, how do I put this? Their mind and heart is so at peace, and what they do it for God, and they do it for the help of others. And that's something I respect so much. And with my friends, every Ramadan, I try to fast a day or two to see how it feels.
Really nice.
And honestly, I have so much respect for different religions, and Islam especially, because of course I went to a Hindu faith school for primary school, and having my friend circle majority Muslim, it's a big change, isn't it? And it teaches me about everything, and I've learned so much from them. So there's a lot of things I appreciate.
So actually I lost my words. I forgot what to say. So you said that about like how you get like, you know, when you went for that walk in March, you said you got benefits for your mental health, and actually volunteering, like you said, gives you that self-satisfaction. Yeah, self-satisfaction. Yeah. So using my voice here. And actually when I do it as well, and I don't know if anybody else has this like thing, you get like peace in your like heart, and and then like your mind gets like, you know, like it's fresh, and it's like you're doing something for like God, but then like also like you get peace in your heart. Definitely. Yeah.
It's funny that you guys talk about volunteering, like helping your mental health, because I actually have a fact for you guys. 96% of volunteers believe that volunteering makes people more happier. So it's not just you guys.
It's true.
Think that.
I would think that's true.
Yeah, definitely. And plus bringing mental health back into things as well. I think at the same time, I think mental health is a journey that you need to take to kind of find yourself as well. Is that not to be stressed out too much. And I think also at the same time, helping others is also a stress reliever as well. And especially that fact, if it makes you more happy, it surely relieve a lot of stress, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I've got not a hadith, but like a Quran ayah from the holy book, the Quran. So just loading this up. So in the Quran it mentions وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ. Now this is part of Surah Al-Ma'idah, part of the second ayah and the fifth surah in the Quran, and it translates: cooperate with one another in goodness and righteousness, and do not cooperate in sin and transgression, and be mindful of Allah. Surely Allah is severe in punishment. So this talks about how we should be like should cooperate with others like people, like you said that you went on a walk with a group of friends, and that actually like it gives you more motivation, and you should do it for like the goodness, not for like sin. Like for example, you might be like going out like to, let's say, like go for the pub or something. I don't know, but something that is like not good, you shouldn't do and you shouldn't like classify it as volunteering. But doing something good, like helping a charity or going on a walk, raising for money, like for Cancer Trust, that is something that is mentioned in the Quran, that is actually a good deed. And it also mentions that Allah is severe in punishment, and that means that if you were to do it, then Allah will give you punishment. So back to the main topic. volunteering needs to be part in the youth's way of life. Do you think that is true?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
In whatever form?
Volunteering, I think the ways of volunteering that we mentioned today, that we've continuously mentioned, I think that's what would link in. Got a message.
Yes, I think that's my. all right, that's fine. Jazakallah, Dad, for that motivation message, mashallah. All right, so do you think, like volunteering enriches you as a human and ways to add peace to your soul helps you stay grounded?
Yes, I think it does. It teaches you about everything around you, and you learn about people, especially in charity work. You learn about people who are less fortunate than you, and I think it helps you stay humble and not think that you're anything else, and also it just makes you feel more grateful for what you have.
As young people, I think we are quick to rush and volunteer for charities, but we should seek opportunities to do long-term volunteering, like you do volunteering for the police force.
Yep.
That's an example. And volunteering can include joining public services like the police force, cadets, St. John ambulances, army, etc. Volunteering can be as simple as helping out your local library or visiting a care home and giving your company to residents. And that is actually helping the community, as we spoke.
Yes.
And volunteering... Dhruv, do you want to say something?
Yeah, just to link back the fundraising we've done for school recently, Culture Day, World Book Day. I think especially at this time as well, the troubles we've been having around the world, the troubles. Am I right in saying is it Turkey?
Yes,
Turkey earthquakes, and it is. I think it classes as our duty to be there and help our wider community, because just remember, we're not only here to help the community in terms of Leicester or the community in terms of England. We've got to look at the wider world, because at the same time they're our community as well, and they are our people around the world. Does that make sense? So I think we've really got to start helping other people a little bit more than we are.
So to conclude for our show today for Voice of Tomorrow, what would you like? What would you set an example? What do you want to say to the youth listening?
If you have the opportunity to, I think you should try and help the community.
100%. That's exactly what I was going to say. That an opportunity comes your way, take it. That, of course, Abdul Rahman, you're in year 7. Zainab, you're in year 10. I'm myself in year 11. But I think we are where we are today because we took the opportunity when we did. So I think every opportunity that comes your way and you know it'll be good for you, take it. That's all my advice.
So unfortunately, we're gonna have to conclude the show there. So I would like all of us to say bye together, like at one time. So
thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
I'd just like to say quickly, I want to say a huge thank you to everybody involved with Ramadan FM for inviting me on. It's been a huge honor, and hope to see you all soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show, and it's time to say goodbye. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.